Welcome back to another Cardinals Insider at the ballpark, or rather Cardinals Insider at Fantasy Camp. I'm Emily Stevens, and joining me today is former Cardinal Jason Motte. Jason, I understand this is your second time at Fantasy Camp. How has this experience been for you so far?
It's been really good so far. We haven't quite won any games yet, but even with that being said, it's been great. The folks on our team have been awesome. We've had a great time going out there, like I said, having a good time, playing a kid's game, and it's been a good time overall.
It's pretty cool to have so many former alumni and Hall of Famers participate in events such as this. What does that mean for you are you meeting anybody new today? It's kind of fun. You've all played on the same team, but not necessarily at the same time.
Yeah, it's cool. I think we had like 38 alumni here between, whatever, so and it's pretty cool because some guys that I know, some guys that I was like Gary Bennett, I was in camp with him for like that long, but it's like still even that you get there, you talk to him like, hey man, how you doing? And then you got guys like Whitey and Ozzie and Ted Simmons and stuff like that, and I hadn't met Ted Simmons before, and just sitting there being able to get a chance to talk to him, and just hear kind of some of the stories, and that's what's so cool about it is because even though we all played in different years, different whatever, we're all part of the same Cardinal family, and that's what's so cool is we can all sit here and talk about that, but like I said, at the end of the day, we're all part of the same family.
Everyone says coming to Fantasy Camp, you got to be there to really understand exactly what goes on here. This is actually my first time here, so I'm seeing it firsthand, and I definitely see why you guys keep coming back every year. I mean, these campers get to play with former Cardinals, guys they've looked up to, and it gives an excuse to just play baseball. Does coming here make you miss baseball?
I don't. Yes, but then I go out there and haven't thrown or anything in years or months, and I'm like, I don't know if I miss it that much. Like this hurts, that hurts. It's awesome. It's awesome for us as the alumni, but it's also I know the campers have fun. I was talking to someone the other day, and it's one of those things that even though we're out here, we're playing, we're having fun as alumni. We know the campers are out here playing, having fun. They take it serious. When they're at the plate, they want to get a hit. When they're in the field, they want to make the play. And what is also funny is that's the same thing for us. If I'm at the plate, I'm like, I want to get a hit. If I'm in the field, I want to make the play. So it's funny. We're all at different skill levels, or we used to have skill levels. But it's just funny because we're all down here and we can joke around and do this and that. But like I said, you get in the box and everyone wants to get a hit because that's what you want to do, or you want to make the play. If you're pitching, you want to throw strikes. So, like I said, regardless of your background and where you're from, or if last time you played was T-ball, we're all out here playing, and we all want to do well. So, it kind of brings out the competition in us again, but also in these campers and stuff like that. And it's pretty awesome to see.
No, it looks like so much fun. I mean, you guys are all former competitors, and your competitors still at heart.
Right.
There's real athletic trainers here, by the way.
Yes.
So if these guys do get hurt, they're covered. Don't worry.
We've used them a lot. There's been some hammies, some this, some that. So yeah, the athletic trainers probably get the most work out of anyone. After about half day one, they got ice, they got this and that, the cold tubs getting filled up. So the trainers are definitely getting their work in down here.
And what is it with this organization? So many Hall of Famers, so many alumni, they keep coming back. They want to come to games, they want to come to events, they want to participate in events such as Fantasy Camp. Why is that?
I think it's the organization, but I think it's the fans, like I said, that come down, Cardinal Nation that comes down and wants to be a part of this. But, with the organization, it's the kind of people that they have come down here as far as alumni, and they're all awesome people, and they're people that you can sit down and have a conversation with, whether it is a Gary Bennett who was here for a couple of years, a Scott Spezio, you got a World Series MVPs like David Freese and David Eckstein, but then you have Hall of Famers like Whitey Herzog, Ted Simmons, and Ozzie Smith that you could just sit down and talk like this. And it's, everyone, we're just people, but then you can also sit down with one of the campers and, hey, this guy's a neurosurgeon. This person works in, at Budweiser. This person works for this, or that person sells cars. And it's everyone just sits down, hangs out, and talks. We're out there playing, having fun, this and that. But at the end of the day, we're all people. And like I said, I think they get to see that side of us, that oh, hey, these are actually people. But then we get on the field and they're oh, these guys kind of want to compete, too. So it's kind of fun to see both sides.
Hard to believe it's been almost a decade since that historic run in 2011. I know you guys were all there at the 2011 reunion at Busch. What was that like for you?
That was awesome. And a lot of people were able to come back, and I thought it was pretty cool for a lot of the quote unquote like younger guys. So like, I know for us, like the Craigs, bunch of other people like Mitchell Boggs, guys like that, like we didn't have kids then. So like now we come back and now like our kids are hanging out, running around, doing stuff, and you're like, oh, like this is cool, like to see that. But then like just to sit there and talk to guys, it's like I mean, it's not like a reunion, it is a reunion, but we're sitting there talking about all the good times, all the crazy times, all the things that like, hey, you remember this happening, like, oh, but remember when this happened, and you're like, oh my gosh, like I forgot about that. And all the wives and everyone getting to get together again, because like I said, what is crazy is when you win a game like that, you're probably never going to be with all of those people ever again. Whether it's a reunion, a lot of people come back, but there's someone, hey, this person can't make it, or like, hey, this year, like Yachty and Wayno, Albert, Lancelin, there's guys that weren't there to play or still playing that couldn't make it. So like I said, you're never going to be with all those guys at the same time. So like I said, the guys that you do get to see, it's pretty cool. Just go back and talk about stuff and see how life's going, and catch up a little bit with some of the guys you haven't caught up with. But then, like I said, relive some of those times that were so very, very cool to be a part of.
Now, I've heard you tell this story before, so I'm going to ask you to tell it again because It's so cool. Tell me exactly what happened in Game 7 with the final outball. You actually went out and got it in the middle of the whole celebration just so it would get authenticated.
Yes. So I threw the pitch. Craig caught it. Alan Craig caught it. We all went in. Everyone's jumping around. I got tackled. This and that. We're all jumping on the field, yelling, screaming, and it was either someone in the whatever, like one of the baseball authenticators out there, like, where's the baseball? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, celebrating with my people. And I was like, well, Craig's got to have it. So Alan Craig at the time was doing an interview, and like I went in his back pocket and picked it up and got it out, and he was like, whoa, like, what's going on? And I was like, I got to go get it authenticated. So they like, hey, this is the ball. So I went and got it authenticated, put it back in his back pocket, and I was like, okay, hey, this and that. And so he was hanging on to it, but then like the next day, Tony La Russa calls in the weight room and then announced that he's like, I'm retiring, I'm done with baseball, this and that. So Alan Craig was like, hey, he thought that, with this being his last game and this, that it'd be a good time to present him with the ball. So like I said, to our understanding, Tony still has the ball. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I said, at the moment, like I said, when I reached into Craig's pocket, there was a bunch of people on the field.
Did he notice you?
He did, but it was like after I reached in, he was kind of like doing an interview and kind of like grabbing, like swatting, because like I said, there were a lot of people on the field. He didn't know who or what it was grabbing, and I was just like, I'm gonna get it authenticated. He's like, okay, but like I said, he's mid-interview, and like I said, it was half a blur anyway because of everything that was going on. But yeah, it was just kind of funny, like in that moment. I don't know who asked me or why I thought like that was the thing we had to do is get it authenticated at the time. But yeah, like I said, Tony has it allegedly, and we joked around about it last night at one of the at the event last night. And Craig was like, since he's technically not done, maybe he'll give him the ball back or something like that.
Right.
It's just funny. But it's a cool story. But like I said, it was pretty awesome to be a part of, and a pretty great group.
How often do people ask you questions about 2011?
So I live in Memphis, so like sometimes in Memphis, not really a lot. I mean, heck, there's people that probably aren't really baseball fans that don't even know what I did, so I just kind of fly under the radar and just kind of hang out. But anytime I'm around St. Louis, or anytime, a lot of times when the playoffs kind of come around, stuff like that, obviously those things get brought up because of what an amazing team it was and what a great run we went on. But even, like I said, when you do get to be around those guys, and like I said, we had a panel discussion thing last night, and just I think that camaraderie, like that, the way we are and how close we were that year kind of shows. And I had a bunch of people from alumni, former players, to even people that are here campers being like, I kind of see why y'all did what you did, just because of the way you guys are together, and it's it really truly was a special group and something really cool to be a part of.
All right, well, Jason, thanks so much for your time today. That's all from Jupiter, Florida. We'll see you next time at Cardinals Insider at the ballpark.